All right, guys, welcome to the course. So today I want to go over how you can upload a YouTube video and optimize it for the most potential views on the platform. Now, you might think this is easy, and you might think that this is common sense. Most people probably do. But that still begs the question, why do most people not do this correctly, right? Most people don't upload correctly. There's something in this course that you are most likely doing wrong, and I'm here to bring that to you today. Now, I've obviously been uploading to YouTube for about 2 years now. I've spent thousands and thousands of dollars on YouTube courses from some of the top YouTubers out there. So I've seen it all. I've bought all their secrets. I've bought all the information. And I'm extremely confident that I have all the answers and all really the insight on how you should upload content to the YouTube platform for the most optimized viewing potential. So let's get into a few things here before we jump into the overview, and then we actually jump into the meat and the potatoes of this course, okay? So first and foremost, I want to touch on two different forms of traffic that you'll see on the platform and why you need to optimize your video for both. So that includes search and suggested, right? Search versus suggested. So what is search first and foremost? Well, search is when your video is going to rank for certain keywords in YouTube search results, and obviously that's going to bring you organic views and organic traffic, right? So with search, you want to think ranking wise when you're doing the uploading process, like I'm going to show you in this course. You want to think evergreen traffic, right? So what is evergreen? That's something that we're going to touch on a few times in this entire course. Just put simply, evergreen means that you're thinking long-term, right? Evergreen means it's going to be for the long haul. So if you're getting evergreen traffic, that means that you're not just thinking, uploading it to get views for the first week. You're not just uploading it to get views for the first month, right? But you're thinking years. So you want to rank your video in search results. So you're bringing evergreen or long-term extended traffic to your video, right? So that's the search aspect. Now let's talk about the suggested aspect. So suggested is obviously the placements that your video gets throughout YouTube so that people with a viewing history more inclined to be interested in that particular video have the opportunity to watch it, right? Before we get into the 2 points I want to touch on here is YouTube is a business, right? And YouTube's main goal is to keep people on the platform watching longer so that they can serve them more ads and make more money. It's really, really simple, right? So if you help YouTube index your video properly so that they can suggest it to the right people, you are doing them a favor and they will reward you for it, right? So you can't try to game the system. You want to give them the most information as possible because they will help you and you'll help them. It's two different things. So mainly, there's a lot of different ways that this happens, but a few of them, so on your home screen, sometimes you'll see suggested, on your home screen's the first one. Sometimes you'll see suggested videos on like the side if you're on desktop of the video that you're watching. And if you're on mobile, sometimes you'll see suggested videos below the video that you're watching as well. It comes in many different forms, but those are probably the three main, most common ones that you'll think of. So this is where the suggested aspect, obviously, are where the majority of your views will actually come from, right? So if you're just ranking for search, obviously, then you're missing out on a number of potential views that you can get from suggested. If you're just, thinking suggested, well, then obviously you're missing out on a lot of evergreen, long-term potential traffic, and obviously the views, even if it's just like one view a day, well, over the long haul, that's a lot of potential views to your video, a lot of potential, good traffic, and a lot of potential subscribers that you're missing out on if you're not thinking both, right? So uploading properly, obviously ranking for evergreen content with search, but uploading content properly for the suggested aspect of YouTube will also help better help YouTube, index your video so that it can suggest it to more relevant people, right? Because they want to know what your video is about because they have the data on everybody, and if their main goal is to keep other viewers on the platform and you give them the right data to suggest it properly, then you're both going to win, right? So you need to understand how to upload to appease the algorithm. It's really, really simple. Once you understand that, well, then you're about 90% of the way there. So this course, put simply, will show you the correct process of uploading a YouTube video and optimizing it for search and suggested, which as a result basically will just bring you more views, more subscribers, more traffic, and ultimately more ad revenue or just revenue in general. So in this lecture, I want to talk about the importance of a title, and then we'll go through and actually construct a title, and I'll show you exactly how I do it to optimize it for search and suggested and evergreen content, right? So the optimal length, first and foremost, put simply, the optimal length obviously depends on where your channel is at in the process, right? Do you have a newer channel? Is your channel more established? If you have a newer channel, then obviously you should shoot for a longer title so you can potentially rank for longer tail keywords and more potential keywords as well, right? You can stuff a couple potential keywords in a longer title, whereas in a shorter title, you're only maybe going to get one or two max. Now, if your channel is more established, you can get away with shorter titles, and obviously they look better, they look more streamlined, but I would still caution you that even if you have somewhat of an established channel, go closer to the longer tail than the shorter tail title. It's going to pay off in dividends in long evergreen content, because you want to think of this as your opportunity to collect passive views once you get your video uploaded, right? Think evergreen titles that are going to bring you long extended traffic over the days, months, years, and potentially decades, if YouTube's around that long, to come. So think evergreen titles. Now I use TubeBuddy. I'll make sure to link TubeBuddy in this actual lecture for you. It will be linked over on the right somewhere. So I'm circling it like it's going to be here, but obviously you can't see it. It's to the right. If I go like this, to the right. My head's probably moving to the left too, because you're watching me the other direction, which is kind of funny now, but it's to the right over this way. And if you look on this actual lecture in the right-hand side of Udemy, if you're watching this on Udemy, then you'll see the resources button on that actual lecture. You can click that, download the actual resource, and that will have the TubeBuddy link in it if you want to get TubeBuddy. Now, if you're watching this on my website, then that will be either linked directly above as a link or directly below. It just depends on where you're watching it. Now, that said, I want to jump in and show you how I actually do this. So TubeBuddy is a great basically app that you can download for Google Chrome that's going to help you basically do keyword research and a number of other things, but I use it the most for Keyword Explorer and basically creating my titles and also finding good tags to put in my description and my tags as well. So I literally don't just preach this, I do this every single video. So let me show you an example of it. Now, Keyword Explorer is a tool that comes free in TubeBuddy. Now you can get the free version of TubeBuddy. You can also pay for the TubeBuddy. I have TubeBuddy. I think it's like the Platinum Premium or whatever it is. I don't even know what it is. TubeBuddy, I could find out. Legend, there we go. So you can get the free version of TubeBuddy though, and Keyword Explorer, the same function actually comes with it in the free version. So I highly recommend that you go through that link and download TubeBuddy if you don't already. This is literally what I do to rank keywords in the title, in the description, and in the tags. So I was just creating a video for YouTube not too long ago, about 2 hours ago, on Mercari, right? So let's use the example of Mercari. If you don't know what Mercari is, it's basically like a reselling marketplace, kind of like eBay, right? So let's think of an eBay. Let's say we're going to drop ship we're going to create an eBay or a Mercari drop shipping video, right? So we need to come up with some good keywords, because we don't just want to call the video something on a whim, right? We don't want to just call it the best Mercari drop shipping strategy of 2019. Could that potentially rank? Yeah, but you're guessing. You don't want to guess. You want to be sure. So let's play around with some keywords, and we'll form a title that has good keywords in it so that we can rank for evergreen, extended potential views in our title, right? And you can use this for your description. You can also use this for your tags as well, but this is specifically for the title. So let's see like Mercari drop shipping, just to kind of show you. And we'll do a space with it between drop shipping. And it's going to show me exactly what the score analysis and what it thinks it is, right? So how much search volume is that term getting? What's the competition for that term? Are a lot of people actually potentially ranking for it? And what is my channel's optimization strength based on how many views and subscribers I have, right? So this is obviously not very good. It's a 23 out of 100. It's a fair ranking. There's not that much search volume for Mercari dropshipping, although the good thing about this is there's not that many people potentially trying to rank for this keyword either, and obviously I have optimization strength, so that's a good thing. Now let's try to kill the space, and we'll go from there. Now that's poor. A lot more people are trying to rank for that. Actually, nobody's really trying to rank for that either, but there's not that much search volume. So let's play around with this and think, okay, Mercari dropshipping, how to drop ship on Mercari. And let's try that one. Now that's a little bit better. It's fair. There's not that much search volume, although there's a little bit more, and there's still not that much competition, and my optimization strength is still pretty solid. So let's think of something else now. So you'll see too here that you'll get some suggested things. So how to sell on Mercari. Let's try that one. That's also fair. So how about How about selling on Mercari made easy? How about Mercari, sell more on Mercari? And that's finally a decent one. So now we're finally getting to the good ones, right? So there's still not that much search volume, but I have not that much competition and good optimization strength. So let's try how to sell more on Mercari. And that's even better now. Now there's a little bit more search volume. How about more Mercari sales? More Mercari sales. And that's a little bit worse. So now we search retail dropshipping, we notice that that's not terrible, right? It's got more search volume, although there is a little bit of competition there, and my optimization strength is pretty good. So one of the videos that I actually did recently, and I'll pop a picture of it up on the screen for you to see, is a video on retail dropshipping on Mercari. So I can take this keyword, if that's the type of video I was going to create, right, and we'll take it into Word, and we'll formulate it. Now, obviously, you want a better one than this. You want one that's in the green, and you can play around with this a little bit more. But for the sake of not wasting your time and doing this too much, I just want to kind of show you how it works. So what I would basically come through, I'd say, okay, this is a good one right here. Now let's try to find another one, right? Sell more, more Mercari sales. More sales on Mercari. And that's pretty decent too. So what I might want to do without wasting too much of your time, I'd obviously go through and find two good green ones, but let's just take this and kind of mesh it into a title. Now we have two good long tail keywords that we can make into our title for evergreen long-term views and traffic, right? So I might say, you know, these are the two keywords right here, right? So I might say how to get more sales on Mercari with retail dropshipping. Boom, and there's your title for your video. Now, I didn't just come up with that out of the blue. I'm not just guessing that that might potentially work and might potentially bring traffic. No, we literally searched with TubeBuddy Keyword Explorer all the data, and we found two good keywords to stuff into our title. And this is something that anybody can do. Like I said, it's 100% free. This is just an example of how to do it, but I've done this countless times, video after video after video, and sometimes I'll stuff like 2 or 3 in there, sometimes I'll get 4 or 5, and sometimes it's just one that's really, really good. It's up to you how long you want to search, how much you want to play around with certain keywords that fit your potential title and your niche topic, but this is a highly effective way to potentially rank for evergreen titles and then bring long-term traffic to your video, because if you know that these two potential keywords that people are searching for are bringing decent search volume and there's not that much competition and you have good optimization strength, then over the long haul, so every month, months from now, a year from now, that's going to bring you extended views that you wouldn't have otherwise gotten if you just titled it How to Dropship on Mercari or Mercari Dropshipping Made Simple, right? There you're guessing, with this you know. All right, so let's talk about the importance of your YouTube description and how to basically optimize it for search and suggested so you can bring more views, more subs, etc., etc., etc. So first and foremost, I want to touch on the fact that this is super overlooked. This is the number one thing, well, if not the number one thing, it's one of the number one things that I see across the board that nobody is doing and nobody's capitalizing on. And this is something that I've learned from top YouTubers, a lot of them, not just a few. I'm going to give you one example specifically in this video at the end. So this is super overlooked by everybody. Nobody focuses on their YouTube description, but you should. So this is a valuable place that you can put as many potential keywords as possible. Think of it as a keyword injection zone, right? But you don't just put keywords there, obviously, then it's not gonna come off very good. And I believe that Google is probably smarter than that, Google being YouTube in this specific instance, because Google owns YouTube. Google's smarter in that than in indexing it. So what you want to do is you want to form a good long description that basically details your video and summarizes it, and then stuff it full of keywords so that you can potentially rank for those, right? So it makes no sense, in my opinion, that people spend all this time, literally hours, creating a great video, planning it, recording it, editing it, and then, you know, creating the thumbnail and so on and so forth, right? But then they spend like a minute or two writing a very short paragraph description. I mean, really think about that for a second. Really take a minute and think about that for a second. It makes no sense. Okay, so what I recommend that you do is you take a bit of time to write a good, thorough description that's stuffed full of keywords, right? It shouldn't just be, like I said, listed out keywords. I've seen people do that before as well, and it doesn't look very good. So it should read well to people that want the video summary in written format, right? But also be stuffed full of keywords. Then you want to basically put keywords in that sporadically placed, and you want many different variations of related keywords to the video. So online arbitrage is a good example because I teach a lot of online arbitrage, right? So if somebody searches online arbitrage, I want that to be my description so I can potentially rank for it. If somebody searches for how to do online arbitrage on Amazon, I want that to potentially be in my description so I can rank for it, right? It doesn't necessarily have to be in the title. I want that to be in my description so that I can potentially rank for it. Somebody searches reselling on Amazon 2019, well, I want that to potentially be in my description as well so I can rank for it, right? So you want different variations. Think about that when you're writing your description. Basically write a summary and try to stuff in as many variations while still having it read well as potentially possible. So this will pay massive, massive, massive dividends in the days and the months, to come. Think like we've talked about before, evergreen, not just in your title, but as your description as well, because that will, I promise you, help you rank for those keywords when people search that in their search results. If that shows up in your description, you have a potential chance to rank for it as well, okay? So another little tip and caveat before we get into some of these examples here are that if you're somebody that repurposes content, for Instagram or repurposes content for Facebook, or, even has a blog. A lot of people will create YouTube videos and then they'll post that video on their blog and they'll write like a summary. Same thing. You can just do it one time, right? Write your summary, put it in the description, and then you potentially rank for all those keywords as well. So to recap, you can put in your blog. You can also take that and put it into a LinkedIn post. You can also repurpose it for Facebook and Instagram, etc., etc., etc. You can think of it as a place to take that written piece of content that you might spend 5 to 10 minutes on and write a good, thorough piece of content, because you're only limited to 5,000 characters in a YouTube description anyway. And then you can put it on a different platform and also use that as a piece of content if you're a content creator, like I'm assuming that you are if you're creating YouTube content, right? So I post long form, to give you an example, long form content on Facebook. I post long form content on on LinkedIn. I also post long form content a little bit on Instagram in my Instagram descriptions. I can use that YouTube description and take that copy that I've written for it and repurpose it for another platform very, very easily. All I have to do is invest the 5 to 10 minutes to write a good, thorough one, right? So to prove to you that I'm not just saying that you should do this and that I actually do it, I'm going to show you examples of some of my latest videos. Now, I do this almost every single video, and you'll see here that I write long descriptions. Today, we're going to go over how to get free products for online arbitrage. So get free products I'm potentially ranking for. Online arbitrage I'm potentially ranking for. Flip products I'm potentially ranking for. On whatever marketplace, Amazon, eBay, Mercari, Poshmark, etc. There's a reason I list that out. Now, it reads pretty well, but I'm ranking for online arbitrage, Amazon, online arbitrage, eBay, online arbitrage, Mercari, Posh, same thing here. And then you can continue reading this. You can make money doing online arbitrage, another keyword. So what I'm trying to say is the more you do this, and just to show you I'm not just making this up, you can rank for more potential keywords and think evergreen over the long term. Now, that's just an example of one video. To prove I'm not just saying it, here's another example. And I do this time and time again. Another example right here. It literally doesn't ever stop. I write a lot of good thought out descriptions, and there's a reason for that. Now, I learned this from Graham Stephan's course. I purchased this course, I think it was like $300 or $400, I don't remember, but I purchased countless courses from the top YouTubers because I want to get all their secrets and basically everything that they know to put into a YouTube channel, and then I take those pieces of content and those secrets and I put them into video format for you guys, like this one right here. Now, one of the things that I remember from his course, and there was a lot of things, was how much emphasis that he put on his descriptions and writing out good detailed descriptions so he could potentially rank for keywords in there. And the dude has been crushing it here in 2019. When he started, I think he was at like 150,000, if not 200,000 subs. Now he's upwards of 100 or 600,000. And this was one of the best tips that he gave in his course. Nobody does it, but he goes crazy in his descriptions and writes them out full-heartedly. Look at this. He does not just say this. If we can pull up another video to show that he doesn't just do this in one video as well. Let's pull up another random one. I guarantee you this one's a long description as well. Boom. So you get the picture, and this is one of the top YouTubers currently right now, obviously not just in number of subs, but booming. His channel has been completely killing it here in 2019, and this is something I took directly from his course, and I highly recommend that you implement as well. So just to recap, right? It makes no sense that you're going to spend all this time creating your video, but then shortchange your description with like a paragraph or a couple of sentences. You can look across the board at countless examples of people that do that and don't grow. So utilize your description, utilize all 5,000 characters to your advantage, and write some well thought out detailed descriptions, and it will pay off for you. All right, so now I want to talk about the importance of description links and why you should focus on this and what you need to know. Now, it's important to focus on this, and this is something that I've been recently really been focusing on, and I've changed my approach. So my approach used to be just like as many links as possible, right? I'd put like my course links in there. Then I'd put like affiliate links that were relevant, right? Then I'd put like links to my social underneath that. Then at the bottom, I'd put like other random affiliate links that, thinking like, hey, every potential link is a potential chance for me to get a click to potentially drive a little bit more traffic to an affiliate offer or an affiliate product or a course link, right? It's more chance for me to make more money, right? But that is the wrong approach on YouTube, and one that I see so many people doing. We're also going to talk about how that affects your videos and why here in a second, but more importantly, I just want to talk about why less is more, especially with your links, right? So first and foremost, it's too cluttered. If you happen to notice a description full of like 20 links or a lot of links, it's too much. And what it does is it takes the importance off the links that you do want clicked. So I'd recommend maybe picking and choosing between 5 to 10 important links. Max, I would say err closer to the 5-ish side that you want to drive traffic to. The reason being, if you have, let's say, like a course that you're selling, or maybe you want to push it to an affiliate commission or affiliate link that you are earning commission to, or maybe you're strictly trying to drive people to your social media on other platforms, right? That should be the few links that you're doing at most. Because if you start adding other links, you might think that they're relevant, but it takes the other potential chance that people are going to click the links that you want clicked because there's so many more opportunities to click a link in there, right? So pick and choose 5 to 10 max, potentially good links that you want in there. Less is more. Now, it does matter for the algorithm as well, right? The less links, the better. And it's not just because it potentially clutters viewers and eyes when people click in the description and see 30 links and think, oh, and they get overwhelmed and they don't click any of them, right? It's not just because of that. Also, YouTube's algorithm, I'll read directly from the actual quote from the YouTube algorithm. YouTube's algorithm rewards channels and videos that keep people watching longer. They've said this time and time again. So one of the most important metrics, and I've covered the YouTube algorithm in depth so many times, one of the most important YouTube metrics is session start and session stop time, right? So if you put simply, if you bring somebody to YouTube from your channel or your video, well, then you get a bump in rank for your channel or your video, right? However, on the contrary, if someone leaves your channel or your video, leaves YouTube from your channel or your video, then you get a decrease in rank, right? It's very, very simple. So there's actually an argument between people right now whether the algorithm actually scans a video and sees how many links are in the description, and obviously the more links, the more handicap potentially it puts on you. I don't necessarily know about that. I don't subscribe to that actual argument. There's two different sides. Some people say it does, some people say it doesn't. I err more on the side of not necessarily agreeing with that. I don't know that the algorithm's like scanning videos to see, oh, you have 20 links, so we're going to penalize you more than a video with 5, right? That said, put simply, more links is just more potential chance for people to leave. So even if the algorithm's not scanning, more links, more potential chance for people to leave. Obviously, the more potential chance you get a decrease in rank because people have a better chance to leave YouTube from your video, right? So just keep that in mind. I'm not saying not to link. I do it as well. I'm only saying to waste, or put simply, only waste a link on something that you think is worth it. So just to give you 2 examples of videos really fast, I used to have so many links in my videos and I cut them all out on purpose. Now I'm driving it to some very few links, right? I got my Entrepreneur Academy. I've got my free passive income training. And I've got my consulting, and then I also drive a little bit of, in some of the videos, to some of my social media, right? So that's a total of 6 links right there. It used to be like 20 to 30. So I highly recommend, and this is the same with the other videos as well. It's not just this one. That's the only links I'm trying to. I've really kind of gone to the less is more, and I recommend that you do as well. All right, so now I want to talk a little bit about your YouTube tags. Now, this is also something that a lot of people kind of get wrong, and I want to talk about different approaches and the right approach in my opinion. Now, if you are a big YouTuber and you have a big channel, then obviously you're probably not watching this course or this video right now, right? That said, I'm assuming that the majority of you have smaller to, mid-range channels, and that is exactly why you should listen to this approach. So this is exactly what I do to rank, and you'll see here that it works fairly well, and this brings organic, evergreen, like we've said a million times, evergreen traffic, because if somebody types in buy subscribers, guess what? I'm the first video to pop up. Someone types in buy subscribers on YouTube, I'm the second video to pop up. Someone types in buy subscribers app, I'm the 8th video to pop up, and so on and so forth. So I also recommend going back to that last lecture. I'll actually link it to this lecture as well if you want to grab it. TubeBuddy's going to help show you exactly what you're ranking for. It's also going to suggest certain topics when you type them into the search right here, or not into the search, into the YouTube tags right here, relevant things that other people are also searching for. And it's also going to give you some other insights. Now, that comes 100% free. You don't have to upgrade at all. But like I said, that's attached on the right under resources if you're watching this on Udemy. And then obviously, if you're watching this on a website, that should also be linked above or below. So, put simply, the best way, in my opinion, to approach tags is to go more long tail. So a lot of people, if they're going to buy YouTube subscribers, right, they're going to type in buy subscribers, or buy, YouTube subscribers, or, how to get subs, or something like that. And those are, while they're indicators that, that could potentially be what your video could be, I'd recommend going more a long tail, so a longer potential keyword, because you have a better chance to rank for that, right? So you got to think, what are people going to be typing into the search bar? Now, I would recommend, like I said, going more long tail. So how to buy YouTube subs, how to buy subscribers on YouTube, buy YouTube subscribers cheap. These are bad examples of long-form keywords, but that's what I'd recommend that you do. Now, like I said too, if you type it into the YouTube tags, it'll give you suggestions. So what does YouTube, and we'll see what pops up. What does YouTube Premium do? And that's basically how you can get, suggestions for it. Because if we type in like YouTube subs, you'll see YouTube subscribers count, YouTube subscribers hack, YouTube subscriber button green are things that people are searching for already on YouTube. Now, there's 2 other ways that you can basically get good information and good data. Now, we already talked about Keyword Explorer, and this is exactly something that I use for my videos, especially in my tags. You don't have to use it for every tag, but if you're doing keyword research for your title and you happen to see some good ones that you're not going to include in your title, throw them in your tags, because then you can potentially rank for them, assuming that they're relevant. Another thing that I didn't touch on too is you don't want to throw a bunch of random different things into your tags. They all have to be relevant to the video, because you don't want to confuse the algorithm. So if you're trying to rank for how to buy YouTube subscribers, you don't want to try to rank for how to grow on YouTube, because while they're similar, they are 2 completely different topics, and you don't want to confuse their algorithm and make the algorithm think that you're trying to grow on YouTube. No, in this specific video, we're trying to talk about how to buy YouTube subscribers, right? So you want to index your video for how to buy YouTube subscribers, so YouTube can then serve that video to other people on the platform, and it knows the people on the platform and all the data, trust me, that are potentially looking to buy YouTube subscribers, right? That's the best way that you're going to get the most views, by giving it the most information. So I just wanted to touch on that. Don't go in multiple different directions. Pick one video subject and make all your tags about that video subject. Now, like we talked about before, you can use Keyword Explorer to basically search for that. So if, that's how you're going to get indicators of what your channel can potentially rank for and how well. And then you can also just simply go to the YouTube search bar and start typing in stuff. So buy YouTube subs, and see exactly what people are searching for right now. So buy YouTube subscribers 2019, buy YouTube subscribers cheap, and so on and so forth. If we were going to go to like online arbitrage, that's not how you spell arbitrage. online arbitrage for FBA, online arbitrage sourcing, online arbitrage Amazon, online arbitrage eBay, and so on and so forth. So that's how you can basically do keyword research. And then obviously you want to throw those relevant things in on your tags. And then once you accumulate enough data, TubeBuddy will show you exactly what you're ranking for. So if someone types that into the search, what search position will you pop up for? I also want to take a minute to talk about YouTube thumbnails because this is super, super important. Now, one of the best things that you can do to increase your views, your subs, and your potential revenue on YouTube is create better thumbnails. Now, this is an older video and not an example of a good thumbnail, but I used to create all my thumbnails kind of like this with this kind of theme here so that they're branded. Since I've probably about a month or two ago, I've really been kind of delving into creating better, higher production quality thumbnails, and it has paid off in ridiculous dividends. Now, one of the best things that you can do, one of the most important metrics that the algorithm looks at, and we already touched on, session start and session stop time, but one of the other most important metrics is click-through rate, right? So how many times people click on your potential video compared to other videos like it. So if YouTube is serving me all these potential videos, let's click on one video right here, right? So we're watching this video, right? Well, what YouTube is going to do is it's going to measure your video's click-through rate up against other potential videos that it's competing against. So if we go onto the side, let's hide this for a second. How do we hide this? There we go. And we go to the side right here, right? And it's showing us, okay, 38 moments from this soccer video, this soccer video, this soccer video, right? All these are competing click-through rate-wise. So how many times people click on these as opposed to the other ones or other related videos that are being served in similar spots on YouTube is gonna make a huge difference. If 46% of people click this video and only 5% of people click this video, well, which video do you think is going to rank higher in search results and suggested and thus be served to more people? The higher click-through rate one, right? So what happens is you get pushed up against, like, video A goes against video B, and you're maybe video A, right? And you have a higher click-through rate, so you get suggested more than video B, and video B falls off. Then what happens is it measures you up against video C, and maybe you have a higher click-through rate than video C, and video C falls off. So then you're getting suggested in all those video B spots, all those video C spots, and then you're going to go up against video D, and if that has a higher click-through rate, then you're going to fall off, and it's going to take all your spots, basically, and your suggested views are going to diminish. And that's how suggested click-through rate works, basically. So one of the best things that you can do is increase your thumbnail click-through rate by increasing the quality of your thumbnails. Now, one of the things that I've been using recently is basically a group of templates and a course. It's Roberto Blake's starter kit. I highly, highly, highly recommend that you grab the starter kit. I use it myself in all my videos. If you go look at my latest videos, you'll see a lot of different ones have the same themes because they're all the same templates. And Roberto Blake obviously is a YouTuber that's very popular. He has a graphic design background, so he's very, very good at creating thumbnails. And basically what it is it's like it's a package of, like, it's a course and it's a package of like 100 different thumbnails that you can basically, they're just kind of like templates, right? So it's not just 100 thumbnails, it's like 1,000 thumbnails because it gives you the ability to kind of plug and play different text into that part. So you can kind of swap the text out in a certain position. You can also swap a picture out in a certain position. And it really, really helps you level your thumbnail game up. Like I said, I use it myself. I'm not just suggesting it to you. I use TubeBuddy and Roberto Blake Starter Kit every single video myself. So I'll make sure to link that on the side as well. Those will also be linked, both TubeBuddy and Roberto Starter Kit, at the end of the course. But enough on that. Now, one of the other tips and tricks that nobody does that I want to give you is saving your video thumbnails as keywords, right? You're doing all this keyword research. Why not save your video thumbnail as keywords? So that would rank your metadata, because that's what it is. It basically what your video file is, right? So what your actual video file is saved as when you upload it, not your title, what your video file is called is metadata, right? If your video file is also saved as potential keywords, that's also going to help you rank for those potential keywords, right? Now, if your video thumbnail is also saved as those potential keywords, that's also metadata that's going to help you rank for those potential keywords. So in a perfect world, a video that or a description that doesn't have a video saved as keywords and it's just like video 1, and a thumbnail that just doesn't have any keywords and it's just saved as like thumbnail for YouTube video, right? That's going to rank a lot lower than the same exact video that has the video saved as potential keywords, like how to buy YouTube subscribers in 2019 is literally what the video is called as well. and that's titled in your computer, same as the thumbnail. So one of the ways that I do this, to give you an example of exactly how I do this, is we'll go over to Canva, because I'm not going to upload Photoshop right now because it's going to take a while to update and stuff. So put simply, if I wanted to name it like this, right? This is, I believe, an ad I was running or something I was throwing on top of one of my videos, right? Let's pretend that this is a thumbnail that I created, right? You'll see free training right here. So instead of naming this like YouTube video or free training, what I would want to go is I want to go ahead and name this the keywords to the video I was actually creating. So if this was about like how to grow as an entrepreneur, maybe I did keyword research and I realized like entrepreneurship essentials was a keyword. So I would name it entrepreneurship essentials. And maybe then, you know, how to succeed as an entrepreneur with no money and no experience, and how to escape the 9 to 5, right? Or 9 to 5. Boom. And I'm going to save it as that. Why am I going to save it as that? Because then obviously the thumbnail file is going to be titled as that. So when I upload it to YouTube as my thumbnail, that's going to give YouTube more metadata and more information. Literally, as you see right here, it's saved as Entrepreneurship Essentials, how to succeed as an entrepreneur with no money and no experience. It's going to give YouTube more metadata, more keywords to potentially rank me for, right? So that's a little caveat, a little tip that practically nobody does, that you can use to your advantage to rank higher when you're actually filling out your thumbnails and your YouTube description. Is one of the benefits of TubeBuddy too is you'll see here that it counts your characters because you have a 500 character limit when you're actually adding tags. But if you don't have TubeBuddy, one of the best alternatives is just go to wordcounter.net, and then it will count your characters as well. And you can simply just type the tags in, like tag, comma, tag 2, comma, tag 3, comma, space, right? And that's going to count all your characters for you just like you were doing it in here. And then you can simply take these over, copy them, and paste them in, and it's that simple. All right, so I want to talk about adding closed captions to your videos and subtitles. Now this is important because A, it gives you more info, or it gives YouTube more info, excuse me, to index your video better, right? You want to give YouTube as much potential info as possible so that they can better suggest it to the right people. We've talked about this time and time again, over and over again. It's also very, very important so that if you're creating content in, you know, and your audience isn't necessarily all based on in your potential primary language. The majority of my following on YouTube is, you know, English speaking, obviously, but a lot of them are not native English speakers. So closed captions can help people along the way as well in that aspect. And it also plays a part for other people that might have translations, but we won't get into the translation aspect of here. Now there's a lot of benefits of this, and it takes literally like 30 seconds for you to do. So I'm going to show you how to do it in both Creator Studio Classic and Creator Studio Beta now that they've shifted it around. So Creator Studio Classic, first and foremost, you just go over to subtitles and you'll see English here, automatic is up, and then you want to click English automatic. You're going to edit it, and then you're going to publish your edits. Now when you come back to subtitles after you publish your edits, you're going to see English here. If it doesn't pop up right away, then you just need to give it some time. Same with the English automatic. If you publish your video and the English automatic is not there yet, come back in like an hour, click back into the subtitles, and you'll see it there. Then you can click on it, edit it, and then publish it, and then your edits, or then your closed captions will be published, and other people can then watch your closed captions. If we come to the video right here,
in the next 60 seconds, I'm going to show you
this guy, and we hit closed captions on, you'll see that now people can read along with what I'm saying while they're watching the video because I've enabled those closed captions features on this particular video. So very, very beneficial in a lot of ways. Plus it gives, like I said, more keywords and more potential insight for YouTube to rank you. Now in YouTube Studio Beta, same thing. You want to come down to transcriptions over here. Then you're going to see it pop up right here with English right here, automatic. Then you're going to hit the published right here and click on that. Edit, and then publish, right? Same overall kind of theme. Now when you hit that and you come back, then it'll be here in English video language, and same thing. Those closed captions are going to be there on the video. So very, very important, super, super easy to do, but for whatever reason, a lot of people don't do it. So now I want to talk end N-screen and cards and how you can utilize these to your advantage to basically increase overall. Now this is something that you set up in your YouTube description and when you're basically uploading it. That's why it's relevant. But basically speaking, it's an opportunity, both of these are, an opportunity to keep people watching longer and basically have them cycle through your content longer, which, as we recall back from a previous lecture, is one of the things that basically ranks you higher in the algorithm, which will basically increase your views, your subscribers, and your overall revenue, right? And continuously bringing it in. So very, very important stuff. Don't overlook this. Now, end screens, put simply, are right here in the end screen thing. Now you'll see here that I don't have an end screen on my latest video because I've been testing out a theory to see if it works. A lot of this information that I put into these courses, I don't just make up or just kind of film, willy-nilly. I either take other courses like I've talked about with Graham Stephan and a lot of the other YouTube courses, and then basically report back what I find about those other, insightful things from other content creators that are doing really great things. A lot of it's anecdotal experience myself, and a lot of it's experiments and split testing, and that's exactly what I do here. So I'm always doing this, whether it's on Instagram or YouTube or, online e-commerce and reselling, whatever, trying to figure out different things and see how different things work so I can report back to you with that information. That's why I'm currently testing no end screens right now. So I'm seeing if it plays a part on the video, if my videos that have end screens do significantly well or a lot better than the videos that don't, to cycle through to prove that theory, right? We can know these things, we can understand the algorithm and how it's supposed to work, but I do want to test them to be sure. So that's what I'm doing right here. So go back to the majority of my videos that all have end screens right here. Well, what is an end screen? An end screen is something that you put at the end of your video, and basically what it is, if we kind of show you this video right here,
if you use the popular Sage,
to show you exactly what I mean. If you're unfamiliar with end screens, if you know what they are, then just stay along because they'll be here. We'll be done here in a second. And this is the end screen popping up right here, right? And then it just gives you an opportunity to click other videos at the end of the video to cycle people back through other content, right? So they could potentially click this video and then end up on another one of my videos, right? It's very beneficial for you as a YouTuber. So the way that you can get an end screen is obviously you can create it if you're good enough to do that, or you can simply go over to Fiverr.com and order an end screen super, super cheap. Just type in YouTube end screen. I think I bought this one for like $5 or $10 or whatever it was. And I had one before that was like $5 or $10. Very, very, very cheap. There's also websites out there where you can create your own and kind of drag and drop stuff, but I won't touch on them too much. Now, put simply, you just add an element here, so you can add a video or a playlist. You can add a subscribe button, which is a circle. You can also add your channel or somebody else's channel, and you can also add a link to an approved website. So if you have a link or you want to drive traffic off YouTube, we already talked about why you probably don't want to do that necessarily all the time, but you can do that there as well if you have a linked website. So right here, obviously you see it, you could just drag and drop them, and that's exactly what I did, right? So we have my most recent upload right here. And then we have we have a playlist right here, but it says it's missing right now. So that's basically end screens in a nutshell, why you want to utilize them to your advantage. Now, cards. So let's talk a little bit about cards. Now, I don't always use cards, but when I do, there's a reason for it. So if you come to the cards here, you'll see that this right here, online arbitrage profit and taxes, is dropped at 7 minutes and 14 seconds. So I recommend that you use cards because it's an opportunity to drive people off of YouTube, and this is how you put them in right here, from your video so that you can keep them watching your content longer. So 2 ways to use cards, and a lot of people will come in and they'll just throw random cards in their video, and that is not what you want to do. Do not do that, because then you're throwing random cards in there and nobody's going to click them because they don't know what they are and they're irrelevant and they're not relevant to what you're talking about at that point in time. Instead, what I recommend that you do is you do one of 2 things. So first and foremost, you can either go to your analytics in your YouTube channel, see when your audience tends to stop watching, so what your viewer retention is. Mine tends to be anywhere from I think 4 minutes, like 4.5 minutes now. So what I would do then is I might come in and add, if my viewer retention, my average view duration on a video is like 4 minutes, right? Well, then I might drop a card at like 3 minutes and 50 seconds, right? Why would I do that? Because that gives me another opportunity, if I drop a card at 3 minutes and 50 seconds, to potentially keep that viewer watching another video of mine, right? That's keeping them on my channel and accumulating more watch time for my channel. So that's a great method that you can do. Another method that you can do is don't just drop a random card randomly, right? If you watch here, I would bet that I probably referenced this playlist right before, and that's something that you can do in your video. So pretend I'm filming a YouTube video right now, right? And I say, and I actually, you know, oh, we're talking about YouTube subscribers and YouTube subs and how you grow. And I actually did a video specifically on how you can grow on YouTube with a small channel. If you want to check that video out, I'll drop it as a card up in the right-hand corner right now. Boom, you drop the card right here in post. That's how you keep them watching longer. Now, this is super underutilized and it's a great technique. So let's go through and see if I actually say something here right before this playlist you're actually making. I also have a spreadsheet where I talk about that in depth. If you guys are interested in any of my spreadsheets, I will drop the playlist to actually, you know, keeping track of the online arbitrage up in the right hand corner right now, and I'll also link that in the description below. Boom, there you see the card dropped. Relevant, I referenced it. People know what's coming, and anybody interested in it is clearly gonna click that, go watch that playlist, and I'm gonna cycle them through more of my content. So I don't just do this randomly, like I said, I do it in specific spots where I reference stuff to keep them watching longer. But if you don't do that, you don't wanna do that in your videos, then just find where your viewer retention tends to drop off, what your audience retention is, and put the card a little bit before that. I also like to put a card at the end, closer to the end of my videos. Just make sure that it's relevant, right? You're not going to drop like a YouTube, you know, growth tips video on an Instagram growth tips, you know, video playlist or something like that, right? Doesn't make sense. Make sure that it's relevant. But I highly recommend that you use both end screen and cards. It will help you keep viewers watching longer and obviously help you rank better with your videos. I also want to briefly touch on the importance of adding to relevant playlists. Now, this is something that you can utilize to your advantage as well right here when you're actually in post and you're doing your YouTube, you know, you're filling out your upload for your YouTube video. So adding your video to a relevant playlist is another opportunity, just like end screens and cards, to keep people watching longer, right? It's gonna give you the ability to accumulate more watch time per video, obviously, and overall for per channel. Because if you put a video in a playlist and somebody ends up coming to that video, well, then they're gonna get suggested other videos in that playlist and from your channel more frequently. To give you an example, and people come to your videos as well, your video can actually rank in search too, and can also be suggested, although it doesn't get suggested as much as videos normally do, so your playlist can be suggested, but usually people can find playlists in search a lot easier, and just on your channel homepage that says playlists. So to give you an example of how it can accumulate more watch time is the suggestions of videos in a playlist tend to be more frequent for those other videos in that same playlist. So if that doesn't make sense, what do I mean by that, right? So each video is more likely to be suggested next to each other in that same playlist. So for an example playlist right here, that's supposed to say playlist, not platlist. If you have a playlist that has, you know, let's say 6 videos in it, right? You got video A, video B, video C, video D, video E, and video F. Well, video F, because all these videos are in that playlist, video F is going to be more likely to be suggested next to video or underneath video A, right? Video F is also going to be more likely and be, you know, more frequently suggested against video B. Video B is going to be more likely to be suggested against video C, video D, video E, video F, right? So that means that if anybody's ever watching any one of these videos, all these other videos have a more likely are more likely to be suggested next to and underneath that video, depending on where you're watching it, simply because you added them all to the same playlist. So you're basically stealing suggested spots by simply adding those videos to the playlists, to the same playlist. And that's why you basically want to take advantage of doing this. Now, I don't just talk about this. I obviously do this myself. I have video playlists on this channel right here. I also have a number of video playlists on this other channel. And it's something that you can really utilize to your advantage. And you'll happen to notice that your videos will be suggested more and more. And if you have a video that starts to blow up and it's added to a playlist, a lot of your other videos in that same playlist will catch organic traffic and suggested traffic from that video that does well. So I highly recommend that you implement this. This is another way that you can accumulate more traffic simply by doing something like adding to a relevant playlist in post when you're uploading.